All right. Well, let's talk about, unfortunately, more Americans are using their 401k for financial emergencies. And I'm sure some will disagree with me based on the headlines arguing that we're so happy that they had their 401k to tap for whatever their financial reason was, emergency was. In my opinion, however, people are thinking short term and not thinking about the long term crisis when they retire 20, 30 years down the road. And that might be so bad that they're in a poverty level situation because their 401k was not large enough to generate a decent income. And well, Social Security could be far lower than they thought it was. It just really scares me that people are thinking short term.
Yeah, and it is always just such a hard thing to see when somebody's like, maybe not even I want to retire. I have to retire. I can't work anymore. And so you look at their retirement accounts, I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And, that's not the situation you want to be in, especially like you're living out your last years. I think you want to be comfortable. You don't want to be waiting to die, essentially, which is a really morbid way to put it. It's a really sad way to put it, but it's the truth. If you have no money in retirement, there's nothing really to live for because you can't enjoy your retirement.
And you'd hate to be 65, 70, have to be Walmart greeter, work at McDonald's. I mean, that is not what you want to do. But we got more to talk about here, but it's just something that's really dear to me that people need to stop taking out their 401k. Yeah, that emergency sounds bad now, but it's not going to be nearly. Imagine 20 years living in poverty.
I mean, it could be longer. I mean, you kind of bring up this point, but, when you look at how fast medical technology is moving, I mean, in 20 to 30 years, you may be spending more time in retirement than the 20 years or so that you were thinking. I mean, you could be, 65 and it's like, I'm not only going to be retired for 10 years. That might not be the case. You might live to 95, even 100. I mean, shoot, you could be in retirement now for 35, 40 years, and you could be in retirement almost longer than you were working, which is just a crazy thought for some people to fathom. And I mean, the numbers are just so frightening when you break them down. And I've thought about this so many times, but it's just like, why did we do this? Why did we give so much access to the 401k when you had the pension system years ago? You couldn't call up your boss and be like, hey, I know when I'm 65, I'm going to get this great pension, but I want the money now instead. That wasn't an option. Why did we change it where the 401k, you'd be like, hey, actually, I want some money. I think that was a huge mistake.
Well, here's something frightening came from Vanguard. 2024 saw a record of 4.8% of workers that took a hardship distribution for financial emergency. That was more than double the 2% level just 5 years ago in 2019. And this one really bothers me. It really frightens me. Even more frightening was nearly 33%, of one-third of people decided to take their cash in their 401k when they changed jobs, in spite of the fact that they were paying taxes and penalties, as opposed to rolling that into an IRA rollover or putting it to your new 401k plan, your new employer. This is just terrible that people, we've seen it here at our firm.
Yeah. And I want to rephrase what you said because I don't think it came across clear. You said take their cash. No, they didn't take their cash in their 401k. They decided to cash in their 401k. So sell everything. Let's say you had $5,000, $10,000 invested in your 401k. I'm not going to take it and move it into an IRA. I'm going to take it and I'm going to spend it.
Yeah.
That is, again, what we're talking about here. Cashing in is just the worst thing, especially you take into consideration the taxes and the penalties. I think penalties in the Fed is 10%. I think California charges at 2.5% plus then it's taxable. I mean, you're talking about losing about half of that to taxes and penalties.
And we've had it happen in our firm, and we try to talk to people, and sometimes they're younger, and they say, that's only $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. What does it matter? Well, because you're young, you're missing the compounding effect. And again, you're losing half of that money many times to the government. It makes no sense. And sometimes, people say, no, I just want it. We try.
I mean, you think about, again, what we'll call $10,000. Let's say you lose $5,000 to taxes and penalties. You just want to rip up $5,000? I mean, that's basically what you're doing. And you put it in that perspective, but that's not how people view it. They're like, it's there. I didn't really think about it, so whatever. And it's just, I think, so detrimental.
Yeah, and that $10,000 they're taking, look at the future value of it, depending how long you're going out, could be $75,000, $80,000, $100,000 that they took from their retirement.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the right thing to do. And unfortunately, I mean, you talk about these, I'm going to say, quote unquote, emergencies. A lot of time hardship withdrawals, there's a full list of things that qualify for a hardship withdrawal. And it seems like Congress, they keep adding different types of hardship withdrawals that makes it easier and easier for people to pull money out of their 401k. And I think that the Congress that actually set up the 401k in 1978 under the Revenue Act of 1978 did not envision that rating the 401ks for these emergencies would occur to the degree that we're seeing today. And again, I'm pretty confident in 1978 that Congress felt it would be a great retirement plan for all Americans, not an emergency fund for paying off debt, for traveling, for, again, spending that money rather than saving it, again, for retirement. That's what it's for. Keyword, retirement.
And I think back in 1978, the Congress, maybe they were a little bit smarter, but I think they were planning ahead saying, yeah, Social Security may not be enough, so we better do this 401k thing to really help people out. And I think they're rolling on their grave saying, what? They get to take it for any reason? Pretty much. I mean, it's very liberal on what they do on the emergencies, I guess they have.
I'm going to go as far to say that this was kind of a test on why we need Social Security. I'm not a big proponent of Social Security because I think it is not the most efficient use of capital, but we need Social Security because if people were to be trusted, if everybody were to be trusted for their retirement, they'd be screwed.
Yeah.
The 401k was kind of a test of that because we were so based on a pension system for so many years where people were taken care of by their companies. And people with 401ks, in my mind, are even taken care of better by the companies with matches and different programs, but they don't capitalize on it.
Right.
And that is the big problem. And it's just, I think, unfortunate to see.
Yeah, and it's something, it's a tool that you can use. If you use it correctly, 401ks are great. Use it improperly, they're terrible. And I highly recommend before people take money out of the 401k, they need to talk to a real, not a salesperson, but a real financial professional to understand the taxes and the penalties that you're paying. It's not just the taxes and penalties, and one should also figure out the future value of what that account could have grown to and how that withdrawal could devastate the retirement. Because you grow this big amount, then you take the monthly amount, where you keep taking this out, like, what? I only get $1,000 a month off of that account? It's because you took so much out of it. It's terrible.
Yeah. No, I mean, otherwise you take more, then you run out of money 10 years into retirement. Because it's like, oh, wow, I have $100,000. It's like, that's not going to last you very long.
And I've had that happen with our clients. We tell them, they get, and they call up, I need $10,000. Like, your money's all gone. Well, what am I going to do now? I said, I talked to you 10 times over the last 5 years, and you still took it. So I don't know. There's no answer to it. So protect that. That's so important, that 401k. Don't be taking it for almost, I cannot find a good reason to take it. Credit card debt, the one I hate too. Oh, down payment for a home. You think that's good? How many clients have we had that they get cash or real estate rich and cash poor, and they lose a house because they can't, afford it. So it's
I'll say I can't think of one right now, but I'm sure there is. But point being, there's not enough good reasons to really be like, it's a great idea. Right. And I'm sure somebody could be like, well, actually, I took it and it helped me in this. And okay, fine. But that's a very, very, very small percent. And I want to emphasize very, 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 because I think it is so limited.
I'm sure there's one I can't think of. But again, when you weigh it, because people don't weigh it. They don't weigh the long-term effect. What's going to be like in retirement because they don't have a good retirement.
Yeah.
So